it's Jem. Welcome back to another session of He is the Reason for the Season. And today I'm going to show you an easy way to get paint or color onto your pages. A lot of times I have like writer's block, I guess, when I see like a plain white piece of paper. So I'm going to show you how to get some paint on your paper with using acrylic paints. And you can either use, I have this set from Illustrated Faith that is very, I guess, potent would be a good color, or bright in its colors. But you can also pick up from any normal crafting store like Hobby Lobby, Joann's, or whatever, and pick up regular acrylic paint. That all works as well. And I'll be showing you how I use the swiping method to put on color. So basically you just put a little bit of paint on the edge of a card. This is an Illustrated Faith card that you can get from their shop, and I'll link it in the description. You can always check out any of the materials that I have in the description below, but you can just simply use an old gift card or old credit card, and all you do is you take it and you swipe down to get some color onto your paper. Another technique, oh yeah, and so if you wanted to like layer that up, so let's say that pink was too bright, you can always take, this is the white, and knock it back a little bit, so you still have color on your background, but it's not too much, and you can still write over it if you're going to be journaling something on your paper. Similarly, you can use the acrylic paint and put it on the edge, but I also wanted to show you this another technique is using a baby wipe, and you just put a little bit of color on the edge. Oh, too much. Okay, we'll see how that goes because it's too much on there. Well, it's not terrible. And you can swipe with the baby wipe. And that kind of gives it a cool effect. And then you'll see it in my entry. I'll also be using bubble wrap. If you get any packages, let's say from like Amazon or something, you can always cut up the packaging with the bubble wrap inside and use that. But I just happened to pick up a bunch from the Dollar Tree, like a whole roll. So I'm just using some ink from Illustrated Faith, and this one's from the Blessings or Lessons monthly devotional, but you can use this with any ink, and you just pat it on the ink, and it kind of gives you a cool, not like that, effect, adding some texture to the background. Super easy and quick, and it's dry right away, so you can go ahead and add stickers if you want to, or write on it and journal what you need to journal. Okay, so I'm going to switch over to our devotion for today, which is in Luke 1, chapter 1, verses 61 to 80, focusing on verse 68. Praise be to the Lord, the God of Israel, because he has come to his people and redeemed them. I'm going to put you on fast forward while I create my entry and talk to you about the context of that verse. Alrighty, let's get started. So in the Gospel of Luke, he is writing a letter to Theophilus, who, which the name means lover of God. And we don't know who he is, but that name is also mentioned in Acts when he is writing that set of volumes as well. All right, so this section is called Zechariah's Song, but who is Zechariah? He is a priest, and his wife is Elizabeth, so you might recognize that name. They are both very old and have never had kids because Elizabeth is barren. But while Zechariah is doing his duties at the temple, and the angel Gabriel visited him and told him that he is going to have a son, but Zechariah did not believe him, and so Gabriel made him mute. So fast forward 9 months, and Elizabeth gives birth to a boy. And 8 days later, as tradition, they go to the temple to be circumcised and given a name. And so Elizabeth says that she wants to name him John. And of course, Zachariah is still mute. And he also writes on a tablet or somehow something to let them know that he wants him to be named John as well. And as soon as he does that, his tongue is loosened and he can then again speak. And then he immediately goes into this section of the gospel, which is a song or a poem of celebration. And basically, these verses can be broken into two chunks. The first chunk is verses 68 through 75, and that is praise for the fulfillment of God's promise of salvation through David's line, giving us Jesus. And the second portion, starting at verse 76, is talking about John, who becomes John the Baptist, and his duty to pave the way for Jesus, baptizing believers. Alrighty, so today we're focusing on verse 68, which is, Praise be to the Lord, the God of Israel, because he has come to his people and redeemed them. Alright, so this scripture is used in matins, which means morning service. In the middle of the service you'll find a section called the Benedictus. So if you look up in your hymnary, you can find matins, and in the middle it's called Benedictus, which is Latin for blessed. And basically it is Zechariah's song, which is what we're studying today. It's verses 68 all the way to 79, and that is what we are singing during that service. Okay, so as you can see here, I'm going to write my prayer for our verse 68, and praising the Lord not only for his son Jesus and for John the Baptist, but also for my son Adam, who is a blessing that we've prayed for him, for children. My husband and I have tried for a while to have kids, and obviously not as long as Zachariah and Elizabeth, but there was a portion of time. So I am just writing my prayer here, thanking the Lord for this blessing of a child, and also my daughter, I suppose, for Charlotte as well. And that is my entry for today. So if you would like to join us for our next session, please hit the subscribe button down below. And if you click the little bell, then it'll alert you or email you whenever I have a new video posted, so you guys can keep up with that. Until next time, bye-bye, thanks.